Ragalata Didi. And again, she lives in Mexico. And she actually met Srila Gurudeva first in 1996, and then she went ahead and took Diksha and Harinam the very next year. So in 1997, she went ahead and took Harinam and Diksha. So I'm going to try find her on the screen so that I can go ahead and unmute.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakopatribhyascha Kripasindhubhyacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So my name is Ragalata Dasi, and I am from Badger, California, and I've been living here in Mexico for about 2 years now. And Srila Gurudeva first came to New Braj in 1996. So I'm going to share some remembrances of Gurudeva from New Braj. I was 13 years old and Gurudeva came to New Braj for the first time. And one of the first things that really struck me was the quality of the devotees around Srila Gurudeva. I had never seen devotees that were so enthusiastic and happy and inspired. And it felt like Srila Gurudeva was the sun and that everyone around him was shining. There were devotees like Shamarani Didi and Vrindavan Vilasini, Madhav Maharaj, then Naveen Krishna Prabhu, Pundarik Prabhu, Krishna Das, Vrinda Didi, and it just felt like a dream. Everyone's so happy and smiling and laughing. Gurudeva was smiling and laughing so much. And that day was Vrindavan Vilasini's birthday, and she had an envelope with a donation that she gave to Gurudeva, and she was so happy and saying something like, oh, this is like offering Jamuna to the Jamuna. And it was hard to understand really what was going on. But I just knew that there were these beautiful devotees with such beautiful relationships with Gurudeva, so personal and friendly and sweet, and also so much honor and humility for Gurudeva. And that Gurudeva was always smiling and laughing so much. Even one time we were having darshan with Gurudeva, and one of my nieces was having her grain ceremony, and it was the end and it was time to get up and go. And my nephew, who was just a few years old, as we were getting up, he had put his hand on Gurudeva's knee and was getting up. And he started talking to Gurudev, even though he didn't know how to talk yet. And he loved cars so much, and he was going vroom, 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 and looking at Gurudev. And then Gurudev started going vroom, vroom, and looking at him. And then Gurudeva was just laughing so much, and we were all laughing so much. And just remembering how Gurudeva came, and there's such a sweet and beautiful mood. Something Srila Gurudeva used to say when he came to New Braj, he would say, why have I come? And he said, it's because I heard hearts crying. So I was thinking about what was it like before Srila Gurudeva came to New Braj, and how were devotees' hearts crying? And, you know, I remember being maybe 4 or 5 years old, and my parents were having an evening programs, and I'd be trying so hard to stay awake so I could have halava and hot milk after the evening programs, but usually always finding somewhere to curl up and fall asleep. Or a little bit older, and my parents are having Mangal Artik and inviting other devotees over, so cold and dark in the mornings, and still just seeing my parents and other devotees that they're following and practicing and making an effort for this Krishna consciousness. And then a little bit older, when there'd be these appearance and disappearance days of Srila Prabhupada, and hearing our parents' stories and remembrances of Srila Prabhupada, and they're crying and we're crying, or even as a little girl having sleepovers at my best friend's house, and every morning hearing her father loudly playing mridanga and chanting Hare Krishna. So just thinking how even before we met Gurudev, he had a relationship with us. And even without him being physically present with us anymore, still that relationship is there, and that Guru is eternal, and that our relationship with him is not constrained by material time, and that even without him being physically present with us, still his mercy is going on, continuing. And that even so many of us who were small children with Gurudev and New Braj, so many of those children now have children of their own, and even Gurudev's mercy is going to them. My sister is a Gurukul teacher in New Braj right now, and one day talking to her and asking her what she's up to, she's making belts, gopi belts, for one of the kids' birthday parties. And so they're not playing pin the tail on the donkey, they're playing pin the belt on the gopi. So Gurudev's mercy is boundless, and that it is always with us and moving forward. Some other things. Something that became a tradition in New Braj is after Gurudev would give his evening class, we would walk with him to his room. And every night after class, we would sing at Gurudev's door, Govinda Damodara Madhaviti, Govinda Damodara Madhaviti, and Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. And Gurudev was always say, my darling daughters and sons, tomorrow we will meet again. And just remember being a small kid, and so many other small children there with Gurudev. And even though we were so small, he would make sure that we knew, what is the goal? What is the goal? He would ask us, oh, do you want to go to Vaikuntha? Do you want to go to Mathura? Do you want to go to the heavenly planets? Oh, what do you want? And even the small children would be able to say to Gurudev, no, we want to go to Vrindavan. We want to be made servants of Srimati Radhika. So Gurudev was giving us everything. And New Braj in the early days, he was also giving us, making sure that we had the foundations and that we were remembering everything. He would be giving classes on Upadeshamrita from Srila Prabhupada, and with us reading the translations and Srila Prabhupada's purports, and giving us the highest thing, but also making sure that we have the foundation and everything. And so Gurudev was also giving us the responsibility to share this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to share this with everyone. And once I brought a friend to come and meet Gurudev, and Gurudev said, oh, you should help him to be a pure devotee. So Gurudev gave us this responsibility to take what he's given us and to give it with everyone else too. And one devotee in one offering was saying to Gurudev, oh, Gurudev, I don't know so much tattva and all these things. How can I preach? And Gurudev was saying, oh, whatever you know, you should share with others. So I'm hoping and praying to Gurudev that one day I can really follow his instructions and take this responsibility that he's given to me and to us to follow his instructions and help spread this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And always so much Gurudev was giving so much emphasis on Srimati Radhika and our goal in Vrindavan. And when I was receiving initiation with my sisters, And Gurudev was giving us our new names. You know, he's like, oh, Rukmini is such a beautiful name. Kunti is such a nice name. Kanyakumari. Oh, maybe I shouldn't change your names and you should keep your names. And like, no, Gurudev. You know, it's like, oh, these are such beautiful names of, you know, the Pandavas and all these things. But no, Gurudev was giving us the highest thing. And Gurudev came to New Braj so many times and would engage us in so many different services. And one of the things we would do was drama plays. And I think one of the first drama plays we did for Gurudev was Arjuna kidnaps Subhadra, because we didn't know so much. We didn't know so much about Vrindavan, the gopis, and what our real goal was. When Gurudev came and he told us so much and gave us so much about all these special high topics. And after that, we didn't do those pastimes anymore. We started to do things like the Beggar of Prem and Dangati and the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And I remember how Gurudev was so happy to see us doing these drama plays. And at the end of the drama plays, always giving us his blessings, blessings that these pastimes can manifest in our hearts. And also afterwards, we could go up to Gurudev's Vyasasan and he would give us sweets, and it just felt like the best thing in the world and the happiest moments ever. And one time after doing a drama play, I went up to get a sweet from Gurudev, and it had been Anakut the day before, so there's so many different sweets. And there was this one, it was like this big sweet ball of puffed rice, and he held it up to me. He's like, do you like? And I'm thinking, this is from Gurudev. Of course, yes, I like it. And so that was like my treasure for the whole year, like every day having one little piece of this Mahasweet that Gurudev gave me. And yeah, Gurudev came to this little town called Badger, but after Gurudev came, he called it New Braj. So it's like Gurudev charmed everyone and changed everyone. And that it wasn't just Badger anymore, more as New Braj. And I remember Gurudev would give Harikatha in the pavilion, so it's open to the air behind these big green mountains, and we had cows and peacocks, and sometimes Gurudev would be giving Harikatha and the peacocks would be cooing and it would start sprinkling, even though it doesn't usually rain or sprinkle that time of the year. And just how Gurudev transformed everything so much, that Gurudev has Vrindavan in his heart, and everywhere that he would go, he would bring Vrindavan with him. Even in New Braj, he established Giriraj Govardhan at my parents' house and established Govardhan Puja there every single year. And just not realizing that Gurudev is giving so much mercy and seva and all these impressions in our hearts, so that one day we can really serve him and enter into all these things that he's giving us. Gurudev brought so many new things that we'd never heard or experienced before. So many beautiful songs like Krishna Deva and Sake Kalaya Goram, Namami Nandanandanam, Radha Kripa Kataksha. So many songs. It was just like this beautiful dream happening, and it didn't matter how old or how young or what language we spoke or where we were from. It's like Gurudev just captured all of our hearts and cast a spell over us, enchanting us. And Gurudev likes so much the Australian melody of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and sometimes he would have all the men sing, and then another time all the women sing, go back and forth, and the melody would get higher and lower and different melodies, and just feeling like we're under Gurudev's spell, like in Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidya Vinasagyate and Sri Guru Charana Padma. Towards the end, it's like Prem is emanating from Gurudev and our ignorance is going away. So just felt like around Gurudev, he was the sun emanating this Prem, and around him everyone was shining and forgetting about our troubles. So Gurudev just had this special special everything that he just gave us so much mercy. So yeah, thank you. Panchagopal Jews, Jaggi Vasandevi Vachal, Vaishnav Bhavni Vaishnav.